Hi, so it's the 25th of June, and so this is another update on how the garden's been doing since we last saw it. So this is the main flower bed, which is now overflowing with stuff. Over at this end, we've built a little fence to try and stop Frank from diving in there. There's a rose here, which is currently lacking any roses but some buds at the top, so hopefully those will come out soon. This is a new grass that we've bought. It's still in a pot. We need to decide where we're going to put it. We've got some things which self-seeded down here which are looking quite good. These alliums have come out, they look nice. These heleniums look really nice, those are lovely. This fun thing here, this pink squirrel tail, lilac squirrel tail, we bought this just the other day. Again, that's just in a pot at the moment, we're not sure where to put it. We've got these nice new pink echinaceas, those are waiting for a new home, and this grass here, which actually has a slight kind of pink tinge to it as well. So there's a few new things there. Other than that, we've shoved loads more cosmos in. So these spiky looking things are cosmos. They're not really budding, but here's one. Here's a cosmos. We've got these rudbeckias in, which are just starting to open up. And we've got a few more of those kind of dotted around. So that's that flower bed. And then as we come around here, these are all the pots. These are mainly dahlias. So we've got some little patio pot dahlias down here. And here, these are putting out new buds, which are nice. And then we've got dahlia foliage everywhere. And we're just starting to see some buds starting on some of those as well. We've got this pot here. Turns out these spiky things are gladioli. So I think we're going to see some flowers out of those soon. And then this new one here, this is a rose that I got Kaylee for her birthday. And so this is called Blue Diamond, and it's a kind of bluey grey rose. So we need to get that potted up as well, so that can live on. Over here we've got our clump of sweet corn, which is looking pretty good. We've got a few cobs starting to form. So we've got one here. Well, they're all over the place. So here, all these little hairy topped things. So there's a nice big one here as well. So hoping that we'll get a decent amount of sweet corn off these. We started these much earlier in the year this time. This cob's looking pretty good. Nice and handsome. So yeah, so hopefully we'll get some good stuff off those. Coming around this way, so this is the first veg bed from this end. We've got some parsley, which has actually grown. Some lettuces here. We've got some rocket, which has started going to flower, but is still good. And then we've got a row of spinach. We've already cropped a load of spinach once and kind of frozen that. And then we've got some beetroots. So these are looking pretty good. You can see some beetroots down there. We need to start cropping some of those. If I turn around, this is where some of our tomatoes are. So let's get a slightly different angle. So this is, these first two are a type called Tigerella. So these are looking good. Lots of nice looking tomatoes on here, all over the place. These need to just start ripening. At the moment they're still looking very green. This next one over has really surprised me with how small the plant is. But there are some decent looking tomatoes. So these look quite good, but this is like a plum variety. So some good looking tomatoes on here, but again, still looking a little bit too green. Got some potatoes, pot of potatoes here, some more potatoes growing out of this bag, some more potatoes here. Our hanging basket tomatoes are looking a bit thin and a little bit sad, but they have put a few tomatoes out. The next one looks a bit better. Not too impressed. I don't think we'll try tomatoes in bags again. Something that does look good is the squash. So this is the squash. Quite a few different varieties, but it's worked its way all the way up and it's growing across the top as well, and the same from this other side. I'll just walk my way through and turn around and get some distance so you can see the squash there growing up that structure between the two. The best, most vigorous squash is this type, which is called a trombosino. So it puts these strange shaped long pointy ones, and so you can see there's another one growing here as well. But there's also a couple of other squashes on here as well, which are growing as well. So those are looking good, hoping for a good crop there. This is our last tomato plant, so this is another I think plum tomato type. Again, some nice looking tomatoes. These are looking alright. Again, just very green. And then this other one here is a tomatillo, and so this produces these funny little things that look like paper cases, and then these fill up with green tomatoes inside, basically. Around here, the onions are all flat now, which basically means that I need to crop them. You can see they're starting to go brown on the outside. These are basically all ready for picking up and drying out, but the weather's just been so wet that they've not really had an opportunity to do that. I really need to pick those though. Next to them, we've got some leeks which are looking pretty healthy. There's one which looks a bit sad, but which is just that guy in there. But the rest of them are looking quite nice. And up here, this one actually flowered. So this is one that was left over from last year, and we've let that one flower. So that looks quite nice. I think I mentioned in the last video, this is where we were meant to have carrots. So we didn't get any carrots to grow. So instead I've planted a couple of broccoli. These are doing okay, but you can see they're being absolutely eaten to pieces by caterpillars. So I need to find some way to get rid of the caterpillars. They're still growing and they're still getting bigger, but it's kind of a race between what will grow first, the broccoli or the caterpillars. This is our second tomato basket. You can see these ones are looking a bit nicer, actually starting to go red as well, starting to ripen. So I think this is going to be the source of our first tomatoes. But yeah, in general, not too impressed with tomatoes in baskets. Some extra onions here which also need cropping and drying out. Those were just overflow because I didn't have enough space in the bed, but they're looking alright. This is just a spare broccoli, but I'm not sure if it's going to win. I think the slugs are eating that one. This is where the old peas were. So we've cut those back and we've saved a load of the pea seeds, and we'll use those next year. And then all through here, we've got 4 very happy pots of courgettes. And if I work my way in, you can see here some of the courgettes growing. They're looking quite nice. This one here grows ball-shaped courgettes. So you can see that one, which is all round. It's probably about time to crop that, because if they get too big, they get very seedy. So we've got a few different courgettes growing, but those are all in pots and they're all looking nice and happy. And then that's about it. We've got some sweet peas which have flowered a bit more. We've got some black currants which need to be cropped. If anything, I think they've probably gone too far now. We've got this blackberry bush which is putting one lone whatever you'd call it, tendril out, and other than that there's a few little blackberries down here which are going to ripen eventually. And then we've got the rosemary, we've got some rudbeckias growing in with the clematis, we've got some new dahlias because Kaylee had an opportunity to buy dahlias, and so it's hard for her to say no. This was one that she really liked. She'd not seen this type before, with this kind of split like inner center and then different outer, so it looks really nice. So she's got that one, and then this other type as well with a very open center, very nice dahlia. This is another dahlia which is just living under this temporary roof to try and protect it from the endless rain that we've been having in Manchester. And then we've got a few more pots here. So a lot of this is some cosmos here, some other things, and then yeah, this is quite a nice one. This has got a load of lobelia growing up and out through these, not entirely sure what they are, but these purple kind of daisy type things. So yeah, and then that's looking back up at the garden and the summer house at the end. So yeah, that's the current status at pretty much the end of July.